So I'm coming to you at the end of a night out here in Cheftown. It's Bank Holiday Monday tomorrow, so there's a few people out tonight, and I came for a late Kizomba tonight, which has been good. Always a sexy, sultry dance floor. I do aim to get some dance floor footage up at some point soon. By soon I mean in the next 3 months. But yeah, Kizomba's very, very good. I want to show guys this because it's a great way to get physically close to a woman. We're on the topic of dating, mating, closing, etc. If you can do a bit of bachata, a bit of Kizomba, you cannot fail to close. Like, it couldn't be any easier. And you also get used to just having the girl's body up against you. In fact, you get so used to it, it just becomes completely normal, which is cool. So yeah, I've just been out there, but that's not why I do it. I genuinely do it because I love it. But it's a great side benefit. And guys who just want to do it for the female aspect, I've got friends who've just done like 10, 20 lessons, and boys, that paid off for them. So yeah, great for closing and just great for your date as well. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. So in the UK, where nobody can dance, if you could just spin your girlfriend around like that, oh my God, you are Mr. Darcy himself, right? So I just learned a few things. Yeah. So that's my intro. I'm Joseph, I'm the Wing Bro. On this channel, I discuss all things dating, cold approach related. Hello, whoever is watching this. I'm surprised there are any viewers at this time. It's 2 a.m. But I'm just leaving the bar, and on my walk home, I wanted to have a discussion. So yeah, let's just start with nightlife, daytime. I'll just do a quick little update on the nightlife side of things. It's interesting there tonight, because I've not been out this weekend. There were some attractive girls in there tonight, and I'd say I strongly opened a couple of them. One of them who was like, she was sat down with 2 other girls, and I just went straight across, paid her like a very bold compliment, and then chatted to all of them. And you can see she really enjoyed it. She really enjoyed the compliment. Guys don't do that enough. And I felt myself, I was like, I don't need to close that girl. I'm really not bothered, but it's irritating me that she's looking really good, and I've not said anything to her. So I just go over and compliment her. I almost feel like for me it clears the air. I'm like, okay, now I can get on with the rest of my night. I can enjoy the rest of my night. So I definitely recommend guys do that. Go over and pay the girl a bold compliment and just see what happens. Not too sensual, not too sexual, like just like something, you look incredible, you're very beautiful. You know, just see how you feel about it afterwards, and see how they feel about it. But I think most of the time, you're gonna feel excellent. She's gonna feel excellent. All right, guys. I feel like there's going to be a few pissheads on here tonight, as it is Sunday bank holiday. So that's what I did. A couple of, one Spanish girl, and then another girl she was from Sheffield. She looked Brazilian, but she was from Sheffield, from the way she was dressed and stuff. Had a little dance with her, and I'm like, you know, I'm not that driven. I'm almost like, I'm just being a gentleman at the club, going round. So that's what I was up to tonight. Obviously lived in Serbia, Dominican Republic, so there's quite a high bar really in terms of the girls. It's on a night out here, I'm just kind of relaxing. Demetrius, mate, you think I'm going to let you come onto my live and chat shit? I'll throw you straight out, bruv. Get the fuck off my channel. Bye. Peace. May the Lord have mercy on your soul. I don't mind people watching, but I won't take people insulting on my channel. That's ridiculous. This is mainly a cold approach and relationships channel, so that's what I'm here to talk about. And I will say, when you've been out in the streets doing daytime approach, the psychological barrier of clubs is once you've got used to the noise, which takes a little while, it's so easy to approach. It's so easy. You can be bold, you can be if you're on the dance floor with the right girl, you can be quite physical, quite quick. Yeah. So that's kind of the educational side. I've said it thousands of times. I'll just say it again now. Yeah, you can be. The barriers in a club are basically physical. Like, there are other people around, there's a lot of noise. But psychologically, a lot of the girls are ready to be approached. And the ones that aren't, they'll let you know very quickly. And some of them, they've got the whole bitch shield and they've got their, diva thing going on. You've just got to weather that, and it's irritating, but you can't let it get to you, because there's those diamonds out there who would love to, who would love you to take them for a little dance, and they'd love to get to know you. And you just got to, you roll the dice basically with each one. Usually I'm quite good these days at, like, I can kind of see the girls who, it's not what it was. There used to be girls who used to love the attention, they used to love rejecting guys. It's pretty sad, but there used to be a lot of girls like that. There's not too many like that anymore. There's not too many. They can get that obviously online, so, and the girls who come out now, they actually want to party, it's kind of cool. So the barriers in a club are more physical and stuff. You shouldn't have too many psychological barriers in a club, because it's kind of a fake world in a way. So you can just go over, pay the girls compliments, and just practice the socialization. That's really a great thing for clubs. And I was out just meeting a load of people as well, just general socializing as well. I had two groups in there tonight. There was my Sheffield group, or one of my Sheffield groups, and then there was my whole dance group, which is all sorts of people. It's mostly foreign, to be fair, but all sorts of people. So that was cool. Nice little night. And then anything on the daytime thing. Yeah, all I wanted to just say on the daytime thing today is, this is like central Sheffield here. On the daytime front, at a certain point in your approach journey, location is all important. Location's all important. It's like, you're not going to learn salsa in Barnsley, right? You're going to go to Cuba. You want to learn good salsa, go to Cuba. Yeah. You're not gonna go to, like, I don't know. You want to learn to box, don't go to ballet school. And it's the same with approach. You want to get good with your daytime approach. Go to a place with a very high level of traffic of very attractive women. For me, that place locally in the UK is Manchester. Other cities like that as well. But get yourself to a good city. Don't stay out in the sticks. That's a big mistake. I've got friends who make that mistake. Get yourself to a proper city. And I'd honestly say, if you're taking this seriously, you should move there. You should move there. And most people, when they're out in the sticks, I feel that most guys are basically stuck. And get yourself unstuck and get yourself down to a major capital and give yourself a year. I don't give a fuck how old you are. I don't care if you're 45, 50, 60 years old. Well, 60. Let's 45, 50. Go take a gap year. Yeah, you still work, but just write the year off. Go, fuck it, I'm going to go down and I'm going to live in a capital or a big city for a year, get myself approaching, and just watch me change my life. Yeah, just watch me change my life. So location is all important. Yeah, I've been like walking. I walked up here the other day, and I swear to God, it was literally like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like medieval beasts walking up, like medieval orcs. Like, it was fucking grim. I was like, man, these are wands. Yeah, these are legitimate wands. These girls, or women, whatever you even call it. Like misshapen. I was like, man, this is fucking crazy. This is crazy. The only good thing about Sheffield has been, it's so easy for me to identify the hot girls, like, because there's so few and they stand out so far. And to be fair, I do as well, somewhat physically, but mainly interpersonally. When I speak to the girls, it's like, yeah, this guy's obviously not like a local fucking moron. And he's also obviously not in the who the fuck is this guy, So you can there's that magnet factor when you do meet a little bit of quality. But yeah, you don't want to be in the land of the orcs. So yeah, for me, Manchester's my playground. I meet a lot of lovely women, also personality as well, like beautiful women with a great personality, as opposed to misshapen orcs with an angry beast personality. Yeah, that's not good. Demetrius, how are you, bruv? You from Greece? So yeah, that's the cold approach. Location is all important. What more can I say? What more can I say? That's my experience. It's just the simple truth. You can't outgame a shit city. Cannot be done. Cannot be done. So yeah, so tonight was nice. Been a good wind down to the weekend. I'm always glad when I come out for a dance. I always know that by Wednesday I'll be glad I came out as well. I could have stayed in tonight and just done some language learning or just done something low key, but I got myself out because I basically know that if I don't get myself out to do something, let off a bit of steam, by Wednesday, Thursday, I'll be feeling awful. Not awful, but I'll be feeling, not so good. Just like a caged lion, So that's the fun stuff. And actually, you know what, on this live, I'm going to talk about I'm going to talk about a couple of serious topics right now. Just because they're on my mind. I don't know if a live is the best place to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it because I might share this with some friends. So I'm back in Sheffield at the moment, and in my wider circle of friends, not so much my friends, but like further acquaintances, you have your circles. 2 guys in the last 3 months have iced themselves. 2. There's a group of like 20 lads that I know who I'm peripheral to them, but I know them and they're absolutely sound guys. And 2 of them have iced themselves in the last fucking month. No, in the last 3 months. And it's brutal to see, man. It's brutal to see. Both of them had mental health problems. One of them had, I would say, probably psychosis, maybe even narcissism as well. And the other one had bipolar. And they both fucking iced themselves. So yeah, in the last 3 months, man, age 38. Horrific, man, horrific. And seeing the other lads, how it affects them as well, it's very unpleasant to see. One of the lads was fucking in tears earlier on. I won't say what he said because it was a private moment, but I'm like, fuck me. Absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. I think it affects people in different ways. But you imagine your old school friends and you were still mates. Some people do have that, and it can be a very nice thing if that particular group of guys, they're not like losers who stayed around and they didn't do anything with their lives. They're all over the world. Some of them stayed here, but they've all done well for themselves. They're all pushing, and they're just solid guys, basically. Really, just good guys. And imagine two of your mates just fucking ice themselves in the space of 3 months, man. So imagine someone you've known for 25 years. Familiar features, you see each other on birthdays and christenings, and it's always bants, right? And there's that familiarity, sense of, I think some of the guys who stayed in Sheffield, I think they're very local guys. I'm an adventurer, but I'll respect guys who are local, who like the local scene, who want to be local guys. I do not put myself above anybody else in that sense. The world needs all different types. And so those local guys, they kind of hold it down here in a way. And we need people like that as well. We need all sorts. And I think it hits them hard, man. I think it really does. Because they like to be surrounded, they like to be ensconced, and they like that feeling of comfort and friendship and everything. Very, very difficult to watch. And I've checked in with just one of them in particular. Just checking in, he's all right. Because when you've got a lot of stress on your plate, you've got children, you've got a wife, you've got businesses, you're in your late 30s, you're already maxed. You've got parents who are old, probably getting senile and irritating, and you're in that 38 to 50 phase where it's all go, young children and stuff. You've already got a lot on your plate, and as much as like single guys, by the way, if you were single with no fucking kids, the modern economy right now, honestly, thank you fucking lucky stars, in my opinion, because it's brutal, mate. It's brutal. You've got to have a take-home income in Sheffield after tax of about 100k to lead a middle-class life now. So it means you've got to earn 150k per household to lead a middle-class life. Give or take. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. So these guys are under stress, all different things. And then on top of that, 2 of your mates fucking ice themselves in the space of fucking 3 months, man. So people take it in different ways. So yeah, I checked in on one guy just to check check how he's doing, man. Yeah. This is something I'll say, there's nothing weak or gay or pussy about just occasionally checking in with. It's the ones who are the most solid. Those are the ones you want to check in with. The ones who are fucking crying every 2 minutes, they're always going to be crying, aren't they? But I feel like guys like that, they frankly need to help themselves. But the ones that are solid, you need to check in with sometimes, just when shit gets serious. So yeah, that's just a genuine call to anyone who's out there who sees this, any of my friends who see this. Check in with people, especially when something quite serious things happen. It doesn't really get any more serious, in my opinion, than what's just happened in the last few months here. So yeah, check in with people. You don't know how much people appreciate it, man. You don't know how much people appreciate it. You might be the difference, not the difference between life and death, definitely not, but you might be the difference between them feeling like they've got an outlet, someone who they can talk to, or who just gives a shit about them, and them just feeling totally alone. I think a lot of guys feel very alone, if I'm being honest, and I do not think a wife and kids I think you feel, from what I can see, honestly, just straight up, everyone I've seen in my age group who's got a wife and kids, it looks like literal hell. It looks like literal hell. It looks like absolute fucking hell. I don't know if I'm allowed to be on a live in the spa, but let's take this live into the spa. But yeah, it actually looks like literal hell on earth. It's because you're trying to provide a lifestyle in the UK. You're fighting. If you're working, you're just working on a constant basis. If you've got businesses, you're trying to do everything in your business to succeed. On top of that, you're fighting the communists basically now. On top of that, and I mean, it's just absolutely fucking brutal. Absolutely brutal. So yeah, my opinion on it for the time being, for myself, I'm staying out. And I think probably I'll stay out permanently. Even like women I've met who were like Latinas and stuff here, I've met up with, who are super family orientated, and they've got like a few children with an English guy, and they're like saying to me, yeah, Joseph, mate, it is barbaric at the moment. It's everyone is like fucking hand to mouth in the UK. It's pretty terrifying, actually. We've gone from what we were to something considerably removed from that in a very short space of time. I'd say in about 15 years. We've gone from probably being one of the best countries in the world to being a fucking absolute shit show. It's no longer like, it's no longer a question of going abroad because you want a different lifestyle. It's just like, No, I don't want to go down with the Titanic. Thank you very much. So yeah, that's also. I mean, interested to know what people think of this one, but there's a romanticized view of what it is to have a family and to have all this. There's a very romantic view, and there are those romantic moments with your children and so on. Of course, it's not the issue is not the children. The issue is the fucking economics. It's like, how much can you even enjoy the children, to be honest? If you're like basically hammering yourself on a constant basis. And it's month after month, year after year. And it's like, you can't even barely wealth. I mean, generating wealth, isn't that the point of England? Isn't that what we're all here for? You know? Generate wealth. People can barely fucking survive. People can barely buy some chicken dippers, which is what I'm in here for. What have we got here? Chicken burgers. This is oh my god, this is abysmal. Let's see if we've got anything around the corner here. Maybe a bit of ham. Oh, we are struggling here, man. We're struggling. Now let's get a protein bar then, in that case. Yeah, we'll go with the protein bar. So sorry for the background noise. If you're listening to the channel for the first time, I'm Joseph. I'm the wing broke. I have basically a service that assists men with their personal lives when we go from zero to hero, where we get guys out into the streets, going out apropos of nothing, paying girls compliments, becoming super seducers in a space of days, basically. If it sounds a little crazy, I know, but it does work. So it's called my Ignition Immersion Program. It changes people's lives, to be honest with you. This changes people's lives, and just step by step, brick by brick, that's what we're building. Myself and my friends who are also doing this, a couple of like other guys doing the same thing, building out an infrastructure for men to develop over a long period of time. So that's what this channel is all about. It's about male development, and it is about cold approach and relationships. But yeah, I just felt I had to touch today on something that's a little bit bigger, which is, creatine with chocolate orange, creatine and protein. I don't actually want creatine, bro. I just want protein, yeah? I'm not a junkie. So what, there's a good variety of protein bars in here. What about this one? Caramel Choco. Right, we'll go with that. So yeah, so we're building out the infrastructure for male development. And the idea is actually to maximize human happiness, to be honest with you. That's the whole point of it. To get guys into the game, to get guys up and running, to get guys leading the line. And this is really just the start, You start to get 10, 20, 50, a few hundred guys who've gone through this type of program. God knows where that can lead. God knows where that can lead. We got here vitamin-wise. I actually need some vitamins as well. What do I need? You got any magnesium? Ooh, $3.99, that's not too bad. We got here. I don't understand why there's so much variety in price. Excuse me, mate, what's the price on this? On this vitamins here? I'll buy those two as well, please.
So $3.99?
Yeah, I'll get those two as well, please. Can I get a bag as well, please?
Yeah. Need a carry bag?
Yes, please. Sorry, guys.
934.
Has it gone
Wait a
through?
minute, it didn't went through. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's
Will
going
I try again?
It's,
Oh, is it booting?
it's like,
Oh, okay.
I don't know what's going on with
It takes 2 minutes.
it. Okay.
The system is updating.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Every
That's
day
fine.
it updates at this point of time.
Let's have a go.
Yeah.
I'm on a YouTube live right now, but it's alright. This is going to be an exciting feature. Thank you very much,
you.
mate. Cheers, thank you.
Cheers.
So there we go, that's the Spa, Central Sheffield. Great service. You help men out with their mental health. It's tough, raising a pray. Okay, let me read this out because it's a great comment. Logan, you help men out with their mental health. It's tough. Raising a strong child is one thing, repairing broken adults is another. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. And it's why I do truly have a lot of respect for good parents. But to be a good parent, to be honest, you've got to sort yourself out first. Because if you're fucked, you're not going to actually be able to be a good parent. That's the problem as well. You don't have to be perfect, but you've got to be somewhat operational. It's going to be hard to be a good parent. There's a lot of demands in the modern world, man. You've got to be mentally sorted, and you've got to be economically sorted as well. It's like, fucking hell. I'll tell you what, right? I don't think men should even consider it before being 40 years old. Like, if you want to have a family, start saving at 25, yeah? And start sorting yourself out mentally. If you've got any issues from your childhood and so on, start doing things like you work with your therapist, you go work with the coach, you build yourself, and you go from there. So by the time you're 40, you can actually make a good decision. So yeah, start. If you want a family now, start saving at 15. Yeah, exactly. Start saving when you conceived. You know. Yeah, for me, it is literally out of the question at the moment. And I'm 39. Now, in my case, I never dreamt of being a man with a white picket fence, 2.4 children. To put it mildly, that was not my ambition. So I'm actually good. I'm loving life. And by the way, I accept the consequences of that. You know, the problem is, there's too many people are they're basically pussies. We just basically live in a world of pussies where people can't make a fucking decision. What the fuck do you want to do? Because whatever you want to do, if you want to have a life of travel and adventure, you have to go all in. Yeah? People say, I want to work remotely, all this crap, blah, blah, blah. You want to live the adventure life, do you? You've got to go all in. You know what that means? It means you've got to be able to live solo and travel from country to country, learn different languages, and you've got to explore the world for like X number of years. Yeah? You're going to have to fund that. You have to find a business model that works to fund that. You're going to have to spend incredible amounts of time alone. You're also going to have to spend time meeting new people, you know, on a regular basis. You're not going to be able to get married and have children in that time frame, okay? And all these people, oh yeah, you can, no, you can. If there's a will, there's a way. No, there fucking isn't. That's just childish stupidity. It's not happening, okay? It's not happening. These hippies who get in a fucking camper van, you know, like, oh, we do this. That's a fucking stupid way to do it, in my opinion. And I'd never be interested in a woman like that anyway. So yeah, that's the adventure life. Okay, the benefits are absolutely amazing, yeah? But anything worth doing is very, very expensive in terms of time and commitment. And then obviously there's a financial one as well, but the time and commitment is the cost. Yeah, and just fucking eat it. And enjoy the benefits as well. And if you're gonna have a family, you've got to realise if you want to have a middle class life in the UK, or frankly probably anywhere, bruv, get ready for hell. Because you're going to be fighting a constant hammering battle all the time, unless you're like a Premier League footballer or something. But, and don't fucking piss and moan and complain about it. I mean, I have a lot of sympathy for people who've got families and it's just so difficult for them at the moment, but you're going to go in for it. Go in with your eyes open and know what's going to be. And pick the best fucking person you can to go and do it. Pick a soldier, and honestly, pick a woman who is cheap as fuck. Pick the tightest, cheapest woman you possibly can. Yeah, pick a girl who's working class, pick a foreign girl. The last thing, in the modern world, like, the last thing you want is a woman with a spending problem. You fucked it, basically, if you've got that. Well, it's going to cause you a lot more problems. Let's have a look here. Logan, these are great comments, mate. I try to insist a lot of the younger men to get the mental weeds and feel like a failure they can, and help, not just to enrich yourself. Money is 40% of what I think is important for young men. No point in having it if you're miserable, alone, and socially inept. Men waste it on garbage to save themselves from the misery. Currently I'm in Sheffield, UK. That's where I was born. That's where my family is. So I'm just visiting at the moment. The videos on this channel where I'm demonstrating cold approach, they're all in Manchester. So that's my kind of playground when I come back now. So I kind of have my social life a little bit in Manchester a little bit now, and my approach life anyway. I teach daytime cold approach. Yeah, so I'm between Sheffield and Manchester basically. But then for about 9 months of the year, I'm roving the world. I'm living internationally. So I've been in Serbia, Bosnia, North Macedonia, Turkey, and Barcelona this year. Let's have a look what else this guy said. Working class is slim pickings. Honestly, I agree. Amount of entitlement is wild. Northerner, yeah. Oh, you're in Manchester every other week. Well, if you're a cold approach guy, Logan, I don't know how you came across this channel, but I'm interested in daytime cold approach as a means, first of all, of having my own personal life, which I've now achieved for a long time. And then secondly, as a means of social development, going up to strangers, paying them a compliment, having a conversation, and actually developing something from there, potentially developing a romantic attraction from there. I think it's a rite of passage that is missing for many young, but basically everyone now in the Western world. Now people don't even go to clubs. I said earlier in the live, I just complimented a few girls in the club there. They're fucking wow, you know. They'll definitely remember it. One of them in particular, she'll definitely, I could see it in her face, like they can't hide it, you know. So I just think it's a great social development, maturity as well. And you think it's going to make you into a massive player, it might do for a while. Actually though, it's probably going to make you the opposite. It's probably going to really mature you as to what you actually want, you know. But it's such a confidence builder. I'm part of a group called the Entourage, where we trade notes on how to effectively do this skill, because it's not very well understood. Not many people can do it, to be honest. Very few, very few. And very specialised skill actually. And so we trade notes. So we are a kind of brotherhood, and we help each other, and you know, we hold each other accountable on everything, not just like your personal life. That's the focus of the group, but also professionally as well. So yeah, so that's I agree with what you just said earlier on about men needing brotherhood, need to look out for each other and so on. I have to say, I do think the finances, you can't say they're not important these days, because bruv, it's brutal out here, man. It's fucking brutal. I went to a shitty shop, Atkinson's in the centre, yeah, the other day. I swear to God, a coffee and a slice. It was what was it? Not a slice of toast, but it was like that raisin bread type thing. £7.50 for a coffee and a fucking slice of raisin bread in Atkinson's. It's brutal out there, mate. It's brutal. So I do think the money, like, just the bottom line, is absolutely savage. Yeah, you've almost got to now become a business guru to have a family. It's kind of fucked. Oh, there's some brilliant comments here, mate. Let me have a look at the rest of them here. So, you're in Manchester every other week. You're in Balkans. Oh yeah, Romania, superb. Yeah, I love Romania. I've not been back this year. I don't know what it would be like for cold approach because I didn't do any out there, but I fucking love the country. You came across me randomly. You're a bit old for the dating stuff, but you give a lot of information on the scene now. Strong, successful male. Socializing for Cisco, we don't learn as kids. Struggle to learn it. Yeah, I agree. I think there's a balance, clearly there's a balance. And I think you should prioritize relationship and social skills first. Get that sorted. You know, the younger the better. And then later on, you can focus in on the finances as well. Yeah, you don't want to be like a guy who's got, as you said, you've got no social skills at all, you've got no friends, but you've got loads of cash. That's also no good. So yeah, well, feel free to send any of your younger guys my way if it is something, if my channel is something you think is going to be beneficial to them. The real focus of the channel is on relationships and cold approach, as I said, because you have to have a focus with a channel like this, and it's the thing I find. I think it's the area I can make by far the best contribution to. You know, we could talk about going to the gym or something, but this is a specialist area, and I know I can really make a contribution to people on this channel talking about this. There's too much of this fucking bullshit, like high value male stuff. I can see as soon as I get on a person's channel, all I need to do is just watch them for 2-3 minutes, not even like 60 seconds, 30 seconds, and I can already see, if I'm honest, I can see how probably sexually experienced they are. I don't even know how, but I can just tell, and I know that I'm right as well, because I can do it in real life as well with guys, and I can tell if they've really experienced relationships and so on, because just how they talk, like, you know, just what guys say basically. And I don't believe that you have to be some kind of a massive player to be a good coach in this area, but I do think you have to have experience. You can't be fucking virgin, you know, spouting off. You can't have had like 2 or 3 girlfriends. I think you need to have a certain amount of experience and have done a certain amount of approaches as well, and then had a certain number of relationships before you can even think about it, in my opinion. So yeah, that's my view on it. But it's easy to tell people who are not qualified. It really is easy. Yeah. Yeah, so you're mentoring a guy, tall, popular. He wears his heart on his sleeve a bit too much. It's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting. Is that a bad thing, though? Is that a bad thing? Maybe it is with girls, man. Maybe it is. Maybe you want to be a little bit icy with girls. The way I treat this is my honest view on this, which has been successful in my relationships. I've had what I would describe as successful relationships where everything was good. Frankly, in my case, it's just I'm a strange case because I'm a global traveler. It's my absolute passion. Everything in my life is indexed on that, pretty much. And some of these relationships, I'm like, well, look, I'm sorry, you know, we can continue this, but what I found to be the case is, even with girls where I've gone like long distance, I can handle it and I can be faithful to them. I don't mind it. I'm fucking nearly 40. I don't need to, whatever. But I found the girls can't handle it, in my experience. So I've had these successful relationships in the last 5 years, and before that as well. And what I found to be the case is 95% of the time I'm just solid. I'm not complaining to her. I'm doing what I need to do. I'm being a solid guy. You don't have to be a stoic animal about it, but like, as much as possible, that's what I'm going to be presenting. My girlfriend does not need to be my psychotherapist, okay? If I need to open my heart to someone in some way, there's different ways I can go about that. I can do that with friends. I can do that through journaling. I can frankly do that to Jesus of Nazareth. There's different people I can open my heart to. I don't need to do it. I don't need my girlfriend to be my therapist. But at the same time, I think it's fine that let's say 5-10% where you are a little bit more like, you might share a problem that you've got. You know, I tend to not want to do that too much because I kind of just want not to do that with a girl. But that 5-10%, I think that's fine. I think that's absolutely fine. And then it's valued. They're like, oh, he's letting me in a little bit. This is nice, yeah. That's what I would recommend, 90-10 rule or 95-5. So for that guy there, that's probably what I would say. I'd say lean on your other people, lean on your mentors, lean on your whatever therapist, lean on your friends. With your girl, you be that solid guy most of the time. And then 5% you can share with her as well. Her job is not to fucking be your therapist. Now that's what I would say, that's what's worked for me, and I do think that is an effective model for guys. You know, people trying to turn their girlfriend into their therapist, the woman's obviously eventually going to resent it. So yeah, and actually good looking guys, they get actually almost, you know, they can actually have quite fucked up dating lives because they'll get some girls throwing themselves at them because of their looks, and they'll get girls on the easy and they'll go, fucking hell, all girls, they're all fucking slags, Jesus Christ, they're all fucking easy. Which, it's not exactly 100% true, but there is an aspect of, yeah, they do fucking, there's a lot of girls who, they are freaks, man, and they'll throw themselves at a guy, but they'll disguise it, you know? And so they get that, but then they might not have actually developed social skills. They might not have actually developed self-confidence because it's come a bit too easy for them. And then in the relationship itself, actually they're held to a higher standard because of their looks. They're held to a high standard. So yeah, and that's that 1% of guys. Like I'd say for myself, I think I'm a solid looking guy. I think I'm good, but I know where I am. There's some guys I'm not a literal like fucking Vogue model. Yeah, that's just piss take. But in a way, I'm almost glad that I'm not, genuinely, because I've not had it come so easily that I didn't need to develop any type of skills at all, or any type of self-confidence on the women front. I didn't need to develop something. I'm pleased that I did. And what I've seen over the years is, especially in as I've travelled around the world, there's not much difference between. I mean, I've literally been in places where I've seen this fat, pretty unfortunate-looking guy with a girl, and I'm out with him, his girlfriend, me and my girlfriend. This is in the Dominican Republic, and then this like almost like ridiculous looking, he's like a boxer, but he's somehow got the face of a model, the body of like a middleweight boxer with the face of a model. And I'm looking at all the girls and I'm like, I think and they're all fit girls, but I'm like, I think the fat guy's probably got the fittest girlfriend here, you know. But the guy had so much charisma, it was a joke, man. It was a joke. Total self-confidence. So yeah, they've got to learn that. I don't think in our culture it's really, I don't think young men in Britain, people in general, I don't think they're taught to really value themselves, to be that kind of bullshit, you know, like arrogant type of guy. I think that's frowned upon. People want to be humble about their achievements and all of that. Fuck all of that. At what point, like at some point, we've got to go, yeah, be humble in the sense we want to keep progressing, but I think you should stick your chest out and be proud of who you are. Even if you haven't achieved anything, just be proud of who you are anyway. You know, try and achieve more, you know. No, I wasn't saying you're an ugly bastard. Smarm and charm got a compass. Yeah, he's no relation. He's got sexual. He's got no. That's the mad thing to me, because it's easier to get relationship experience than sexual. He must be like that real 1% of guys who just get it on a plate. That's a very low percentage though. But I've seen guys like that. I've seen girls go after guys like that, get with them, and then leave them because they're just like, no. And I know why. It's because the guy he's not really got much edge to him at all. And then they go out with like, you know, a 40-year-old business guy who fucks them around and knows how to play them, basically, knows how to push their buttons. Yeah, it's funny, man. It's funny. But we're all on a journey, so the good-looking guys, hey, don't envy them too much because they don't get it for free either. They've got to do their own development as well. Slightly different path for them, but they do have to develop. And like I said, they're held to a higher standard, so they need to develop even more. Yeah, when I say like, I just think it's self-deprecation in Britain, isn't it? People don't actually, like, say for example, when I go up to girls and I'm in the street and stuff, I do show off a little bit. I don't care. I show off a little bit, but not in a obnoxious way of saying, well, I'm better than you, fuck you. No, it's more like, oh yeah, I've just gone in from this country and that country. You know, I'll paint a little picture of what I've done in recent years that I think is positive. And it is actually showing like, yeah, oh, this guy's cool, it's valuable, isn't it? Yeah, this is cool. Because otherwise, I'm sorry, but I'm not putting myself in the same bracket as just the guy who's just come around the corner, just come out of a betting shop. You know, he's just seen a bit of tail and he's just gone over to her and just tried his luck. I want to put myself in the bracket that I actually have earned the right to be in, which is through application over many, many years. Hey, I've got this cool lifestyle. I don't say that, but I'm like, oh, I just got in from here, yeah. I'm just in Manchester visiting some friends. Yeah, it's wicked out today. Oh, you've been out shopping, yeah? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. And I'll just paint a little picture. And I found myself, the more proud I am of myself, kind of humble bragging, basically, I found that's actually been very effective. So I don't think we should be shy. We should not shy away from what we've done. And you'll notice, my experience is, the guys that do well in Europe, the best guys in Europe, hands down, are the Italians, hands down. They're fucking arrogant as fuck. Women expect it, man. Women like it, so yeah. Obviously, you don't want to be delusionally arrogant in your business life and stuff, but I think there's a place for it. You need it. You do need it as a man. It's like a shield, coat of armor. You know, represent yourself well. That's how I view it, anyway. People can take a different view, but that's how I view it, and that's how it's worked for me. So just walking out the centre now. So yeah, just talked earlier on about the difference between nighttime approach and daytime approach. I'm so grateful that I discovered daytime approach and I've got into it the last few years, because it's changed my life. That night tonight, I would have had to force myself to go into so many approaches, because that would have been the only way. I'm single, that'd be the only way for me to actually meet a woman, would be to go into tons and tons of approaches in a club. As things were, I probably only did 3 compliments to the hottest girls that I saw in the club, and almost just to get it off my chest, have a quick chat with them. And I'm kind of like, to be honest, it's arrogant, man, but when I come back to Sheffield, I'm like, I'm sorry, I have moved past this now. I'm not interested. I've been living in Serbia this year. I was living in Dominican Republic. These girls are nice, they're the hottest in the club, but the places I've been, they would not be head turners. They'd just be nice looking, but they would be like middle of the pack, you know. So, but I still feel the need to go and get it off my chest. It's so relaxing now, because I know I can go out in the daytime and I meet girls in the day in a much more authentic way. I have long conversations with women, and it's a bit of a weird hobby. Do you know what I mean? It's not. I'm doing more than I would be because I'm training guys, so I still like to stay a little bit sharp. Yeah, I've probably been out most weekends the last couple of months, just to stay a little bit sharp with it. But yeah, it changes guys' lives, man. The guys I've trained with in Manchester recently, it's changed their lives. The guys I've seen go through this process, It's revolutionised their lives. You got the balls to go over to a girl in broad daylight in the UK and pay her a compliment, get into a conversation with her and maybe get her number. You got the balls to go out and do that on a Saturday afternoon. No drink, no drugs, no dim lights, no strobe, no neon. You got the balls to go and do that and you make a habit of it. You'll have the balls to do a lot more things as well. It's completely changed my life, you know, and like completely changed, a massive upgrade from where I was. No, you're right. You know, because with English people, I feel like I don't want to be, I don't want to do the country down too much, and I don't want to disrespect my own country. I always want my own country to do well. It might not seem that way, but I genuinely, if there's one country I want to do well, it's this country. But then I look at, I go out, you've just said it right there, English 9s, Eastern European 4s. Yeah. I find in the UK it tends to be the foreign girls who are the hottest, to be honest, or the first generation, maybe Indian, Pakistani, black girls, mixed race girls. I tend to find them, Asian girls, I tend to find them the best, to be honest. The local crowd, and it's not just the looks, man. It's the, anyway, it is what it is. You're pretty much forced to look overseas, but it is what it is at the end of the day. We don't control society, we don't control the changes that have gone on it. Smart guys, we've just got to respond to that. Yeah, right, well, let me see what these Ukrainian girls are saying, let me see what these Ruskies are saying. I was chatting tonight to a Belarusian piano teacher, absolutely lovely girl. Wasn't so attracted to her, but she was just a lovely person, intelligent, you know. It's kind of a, I don't know, I just see the English girls by comparison, they're fucking almost retarded by comparison, to be honest with you. It's very sad. The best English girls I've found have actually been when I've been travelling, because personality wise, if you think about it, I met one in particular in Barcelona earlier this year. I was like, man, what a great girl she was. She was absolutely sorted. She's from Bradford. But if you think about it, I'm like, if she's planned a trip to Barca with her mates from Bradford, and she's organised it all, and they've come out of season as well to do touristy stuff, like, I was like, she probably is a really cool person. There are those gems out there, but it's not easy, man. It's not easy. There's some countries I've been to, Dominican will be the number one on this list. Bro, it's a factory of wives, not girlfriends, wives. It is a literal factory. Like, if you can't find a wife there really is genuinely, like, you've got problems, to be honest. Almost every girl you meet, you're like, or like every other girl you meet, you're like, wait, she's smart, she's got an outrageous body, she's professional, she learned to cook when she was like 13, and she can dance. Fucking hell, where's the wedding ring? And even if you're physically into, you know, the mulatto girls, mixed race girls, there's fucking white girls there as well. They're pretty much similar. So the toughest issue I have is getting young men to approach the cynical about women, honestly. It's just the experience talking, not for social approval. Funny when I've been abroad. Yeah, I mean, a place like Barcelona, there, you know, because we were doing approach in Barca, so there's a few films of it in my channel where we were going out in Barcelona doing approaches, and I did run into a couple of English girls. So the channel really is, I'm demoing a lot of approaches. So maybe these guys, they need to see like young guys doing it and getting results. There's a guy in the entourage, I call him the Manchester Sicario. He's got his own channel, I think he's just started. He's going to be coaching soon as well. He's going to be, I think is good because he's a young guy. He's 21. He goes around central Manchester in a freaking tracksuit. Yeah, he's like, you know, he's developed his approach to such a high level in terms of the balls he's got to go over. I've seen him going over in coffee shops to these Asian girls with their mums and stuff, and he's chatting the girl up, he's telling the mum that the daughter's beautiful. an absolute fucking don, and he's just developed himself, developed his social skills through approach, through working in a bar, and he's completely, and he's a normal guy. And I say that in a way like he's achieving abnormal things because he's applied himself in an abnormal way. He's applied himself properly, and he's gone from being a virgin to, like, he's dating cougars and dating Asian girls. Completely changed his life within a couple of years, and that's just the start for the guy. So that's a young guy right there. He's still obviously got a lot to learn, but yeah, exactly. These young guys not even fucking approaching. I mean, it's worrying, dude. It's worrying. I think we've got to a point where it's almost like the older guys, for their own good, we need to basically really almost force them into it in a way. I mean, you can't force people into it, but we need to show them the way, really. Because when you're youngest, this is the part that's fucked up. I think it's understandable for an older guy not to feel self-conscious about approaching, because you built up more ego and so on. You probably had some relationships and stuff like that, and you're older anyway, so you think, is this all right for me to do this? Like, but in your youth, like your younger years, sorry, I just dropped it there. In your youth, your younger years, you've got absolute license. You can fucking do anything. I mean, yeah, we used to cold approach at 15 in clubs. We didn't give a shit at all. We'd just go over. Just literally ask, get your mates to go over and say, do you want to get over? Do you want to get off with Joseph? Yeah, go on then. That's how you get your kisses. That's how you get your snogging practice. Horny teenagers just snogging each other. Yeah, that was just what it was, man. But I honestly think it was a great thing. It was a great thing. And I wouldn't say that I was just completely normal. I wasn't anything special on that front. I go out and meet girls and stuff like that, but there were other guys who would always be a step ahead. But I still went out, I still did have my relationships, found good girls, and found that I had like a teenage girlfriend and stuff. You don't have to be the big player. You can just get a nice girlfriend, get a few snogs, get a nice girlfriend, whatever. Get yourself approaching. You've ticked it off. You're an adult man, you've had that adult experience. They're not fucking even approaching, man. That's concerning. Because online, it does not develop your interpersonal confidence, your organic confidence. I mean, maybe the world is becoming so digital, it's better that you're focusing on your Instagram profile, but you still got to go on the date, haven't you? You still got to conduct the relationship, haven't you? So yeah, it depends what kind of life you want to lead. I do want to lead a life where I know I'm capable myself, and that's the life I've always wanted to lead, and more than ever. You know, we're going to be like the guys, like the cold approach guys. We're going to be like the guys who've got like an old record player with vinyl and stuff. That's going to be us. But now it happens vinyl is like quite prestigious now. It's quite expensive. It's coming back in because people like it. You know, they like that style. What else have we said here, Logan? Yeah, 50% of men are not. Yeah, I agree with everything you just said there, mate. As they get older, if you don't start young, you go, well, bloody hell, if you can't do it, if you don't start between 15 and 25, at least getting some experience, having a few dates, having a few snogs, some shags, fucking dirty hand job, you know, around the back of the bins, around the fucking, in the cinema fire escape. That was where I used to get my hand jobs. Just go take the girl in a fire escape, give me a painful hand job, you know. But that's what it was, man. That was just growing up. I think it was important. They're good years, good experiences. Yeah, if you're not doing any of that when you're young, fucking hell. Yeah, 63%, they're not even looking. And this is I've said this to some of my mates in the entourage. I've said in the UK and Western Europe in general, there is a sterility. I mean, look, I'm just one guy. I can't change the whole culture. It's just something I've observed. I'm going out and I'm meeting all these girls in their mid-20s. None of them have got boyfriends. Practically fucking none of them. Like, so many of them haven't. I'm almost relieved when I hear it. I was like, okay, well, at least she's got a boyfriend. At least I know there's some other guys out there who are doing something. But yeah, the apps are very discouraging. The apps are very discouraging to guys. You know, who you are as a man cannot be summarized on a fucking app. I'm sorry, it can't. It can only be summarized in person, when you're actually there in person, the energy with the person, their confidence. You can't even see it really on a screen. You know, we're talking about this today on video. People can watch videos and they might pick up on, oh, this guy talked a bit too fast there, or he qualified himself, or he did that, this, that and the other, and he still gets the girl's number. And it's like, well, what you can't see on that video is how that guy, his energy at that point, how he was feeling magnetic, how he was feeling confident, how he just knew that he had this girl in the palm of his hands and she was just digging him. You can't see that even on a YouTube video. Never mind fucking communicate your value properly on Tinder. It can't be fucking done, man. It can't be done. I'm not universally against it, but it obviously people to seek the path of least resistance and then they fuck themselves. It can be good when you travel. I used it a few times when I was traveling. I was like, fucking hell, I wish I'd used it earlier when I was in Brazil, because I honestly met better girls on Tinder in my last week when I thought, let me at least turn it on, than I did in the streets for whatever reason. But yeah, in general, it's a fucking shit show. And if you're over 30, forget it. Like, I'm 39. There's no hot 25-year-olds or 23-year-olds who fucking, you know what I mean? Who are saying, if I meet them in the street, they'll like me. And actually, even fucking anything right down to 19, 20. Yeah, I definitely don't go any younger than that, obviously, but they'll like me as well. Whether actually arrange anything is a different question, but in the street it's a different thing, right? When you meet in person, just as like it can be. I'd never put like I want to date a 50-year-old woman ever on a Tinder app ever. Or dancing with a woman tonight. She's definitely 50, and like she was the only woman tonight. I was like, this woman is like, she's turning me on, to be honest with you. So until you actually get with a person next to them, you don't know how it's going to be. You've got a lot of charm, you're not even in shape, but real life is a different thing. Yeah, I mean, you're a prime example, mate, then, in that case. It's good you say it like that, because, you know, just to basically just call it out and say, yeah, look, I'm not the best looking guy, but I've got fucking charm, I've got confidence, I'll go over to the girl, I've had some experiences, you know. Yeah, all this looks maxing stuff, you're basically presenting, we're basically literally turning men into women. Because like if a girl came over to me and paid me a compliment about, oh, you look really good, your beard looks really, like, probably my beard, I'd take that as a good compliment. It's nice to get a little compliment, but I'm not going to light up like in the way that girls do when I say you look absolutely stunning. They literally light up. They're like, wow, that's fucking amazing. Whereas if like my girlfriend comes in one day, I was one day where I worked quite a lot, and it was like, I just can't remember, I just said something to my girlfriend, I earned this much today, and she really genuinely like gave me credit. She was like, oh, well done, like, just, I don't know, she dealt with it well, the way she handled me, and I was like, man, I really deeply appreciate that, the fact I got some appreciation for my work. So I think for guys, what we get off on is maybe feeling strong and powerful, dominant, appreciated for our work, things like that. That does it for us. You know, like I really, if a girl compliments me on my looks, I don't really give a shit, to be honest. It doesn't mean anything to me. It really doesn't. It does happen sometimes, but it doesn't mean anything. So I think we just build different, and we're trying to turn men into women. Society is trying to looks max them into women. It's pathetic, dude. It's pathetic. Yeah, but exactly. All the basics, man. Like, do you know what I mean? I've got my nice cool jacket going on. I've got some Nikes going on here today. I've got some nice combats going on. I look all right. That's what I would say is kind of just looking presentable and looking decent, getting a bit of a style to you. Good. What I'm talking about is, I don't know if you've seen it online, what looks maxing is absolutely fucking insane. Guys like rating each other's fucking facial features and stuff like this, and they're talking about the results they're getting and all this. I'm like, it really is. It's disgusting to see, to be honest. But anyway, it's up to them. I can do my best on these channels, and you can do your best, Logan. We're older generation. We are going to do our best to help these guys, because in the day, they're the future of humanity. You know, they're going to have to teach the next generation. What are they going to teach the next generation, man? Like, if this is what it's like now, you know what I think, right? I think it's going to be Return of the Barbarians. So, like, you've got all the looks maxing kind of pussy, like that type of thing, and it's going to become so weak. Like, let's say the UK, only one of only two things are happening. Well, it's probably going to be the first one, which is everything is so weak that the government just starts to run the country as like a prison, communist prison camp. And that's the kind of route it eventually goes down. There's no freedom of speech. There's no strength in the population anymore. The middle class is completely castrated, and the working class is kind of like, you know, they're kind of lost. And the upper class, they just do their own thing in there. Like the fucking aristocracy, they don't give a shit anyway. Although they'll probably get excised anyway. They'll probably get fucking taken out. And the country's just smushed into this fucking total dystopia. That's one option. Or the other option is, it's like a Return of the Barbarians. The strongest come and they just wreck everybody at some point. We have an electronic blackout or something, and just like whoever the strongest force is, you know, the barbarian kids, the Ukrainian refugees, or the fucking whoever. Well, we know where one strong force in the UK is, but it's going to be like that, and then they're just going to run everything, just take over. So yeah, we need to teach these young guys to stand up for themselves, fight for yourself more than anything, fight to assert yourself, and don't be afraid to assert yourself either. You're old school, presentable, nice suit. How old are you, Logan, mate, if you don't mind me? If you don't mind me asking. Yeah, presentable in a nice suit. I mean, that's also great. I've got friends who, yeah, that's what they do. They chinos and shirt and stuff. That's fucking awesome. So yeah, I don't know if you saw 49. Yeah, exactly. We can't save the whole culture. I think we can just do what we can do, to be honest, and do our best. For me, I'm looking at it, I'm going like, well, I don't have any children myself, and frankly, I'm looking at it going, I think you always want to reserve the right in your mind, like, oh, I might have children, but I'm looking at it realistically going, am I just kidding myself here? Because first of all, why haven't I already done it? And second of all, are the conditions getting any more favourable? No, they're getting worse. So I'm like, well, at least I can make a contribution to the younger lads, help them, also older guys as well, whoever, make contribution to guys in general, share my own knowledge and experience. That's something positive. Yeah, I think guys doing that is a positive thing. Obviously a lot of extreme extreme shit on the internet there. We've got from Lux Maxers to Bugatti Maxers, it's all a bit extreme. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I shared some stuff earlier on. I don't know if you're on the live then, but about some guys, you know, obviously had real struggles, and it's there's only so much, you know, there's a certain group that they're kind of past helping, really. You can't give people the will to carry on. Yeah, very, very difficult. I really feel for the guys who've lost two close friends in the last 3 months. It's fucking brutal, man. It's absolutely brutal. Yeah. Can I say about that, really? I mean, one thing I would always say as well is for guys who have got suffering or guys who can't get their shit together, there are so many people out there. We've got the internet. There's so many people out there with so many different modalities of therapy. Have you tried literally every single one on earth? And if you haven't, you've shortchanged yourself. If you're going to say, right, I'm going to check out, try everything on earth before. Try everything. And then if nothing, you're bipolar and then nothing's happening, okay. But there's a guy I've recommended, a guy called Phil Parker, Logan. Dr. Phil Parker. I think he's a spectacularly brilliant man. And he's got an amazing modality for treating people with anything from anxiety to stress to depression to basically anything. I went to him because of a nerve injury, because he'd had excellent results with neuropathic injuries, and what he works on is a basis of everything in the brain and everything, and most things that you can sense in the body is related to the central nervous system, and which is all essentially connected to the brain. So what he does is all of his focus is on, it's essentially hacking the brain, hacking the deeper brain, the limbic system. It's fucking amazing. So I did his program, and it definitely helped with my injury. Massively helped with my recovery. And then I've used it in other areas of my life as well. He's got a program called the Lightning Process. I'm recommending it to absolutely everyone. So Logan, if you've got any guys under your care who are almost at like last chance saloon level, check out Phil Parker, the Lightning Process. It's a bit of a cheesy name. I think he regrets calling it that, but it just is. that's the name of the program. It probably should be called neurological retraining, but it's not catchy. He developed it in like I think the early 2000s. It's been going for like more than 20 years, 25 years. So he's a legend, absolute legend. Helped thousands of people. So I'm spreading the word about him as well. Because I don't want anyone who's out there who's like, who that could help, maybe even frankly could fucking save. Who knows? I'll gladly send him his way. The guy is an amazing guy. But more importantly, the program he developed in his modality is incredible. Yeah, exactly. Travis, for you. Yeah. Oh, that's such a good point, Logan. This is just such a diamond of a fucking viewer, mate. Thanks for getting me onto that, because I actually something I've talked about that with my friends in the entourage, and it's something I absolutely agree with you. You just said modern therapy is not modeled towards men. No shit, it isn't. I absolutely agree with you. It's good to share certain things. It's good to figure out certain things. If you're confused about your past, the stuff in my life that like little blocks and little things I've got, and it's basically obvious where it comes from. And I went to do a bit of therapy in the past a few times, and we've kind of gone through stuff with different modalities, and it's like, yeah, it's absolutely obvious where this kind of mental block is coming from with you, or this pattern. It's absolutely fucking obvious. But beyond that, okay, once you've done like 3 or 4 sessions, you know what's going on. You already kind of knew anyway, but it's kind of been confirmed. And then you're kind of like, well, I need to move forward now. And just talking about it is not actually going to help. It's not going to help you. Because it's not going to get into those deeper emotions, really, that you need to get into. And also it's not going to build that resistance, that punch resistance you're going to need, where you might have to just handle whatever's gone in the past and you just got to move forward. So yeah, I agree. And that's why coaches doing a pursuit like boxing, martial arts, actually cold approach, frankly, like if you treat it the way that I treat it, me and my mates treat it, like we treat it as almost a sparring gym. We do it like social sport, and that builds our social confidence. Other things as well, I mean, it could be anything that's challenging, anything that you've got to be accountable, build a bit of a brotherhood, that's going to build your confidence as a man. So, and I just think that's, yeah. There's also stuff you can't say to a therapist as well. I've been to like a female one, and when it got to the point of talking about relationships, I was like, I can't really, I was like 26, 27 at the time, and my main problem was like, well, I've got quite a nice girlfriend, but you know what it is, right? I've only just started getting success with women. I feel like I want to shag a bit more. I can't say that to a female therapist. Can't say it, yeah? I'd feel too weird. I feel guilty. She'd probably guilt trip me. But you know that's how all those young guys are probably feeling. They get their first girlfriend, they first get a bit of success, and they go, shit, I want a bit more I want a bit more before I settle down with this one. Yeah, so I would agree with you, to be honest. You know, now I look back on that, it's quite funny to think about that, but that is how you're feeling at the time. But in general, yeah, like marriage counselling and all that shit, it doesn't help. It doesn't help anyone. It kind of pussies the men up a little bit. It's just, it's got a very poor rate of success, if we're being honest. Like, it's got a very poor rate of success. So yeah, you need other things. Travis, bruv, you can't stop drinking alcohol. Okay, so Travis, I'm not a therapist as a response as far as drink goes or anything like that. I'm far from a mental health professional. So this is probably not the right channel for you in that respect. But check out drphilparker.org. He also has a program on addiction. I forget the name of it, but it's also very successful. And it also works along the principles of neurology and neuroplasticity. philparker.org, Dr. Phil Parker. I forget the name. He's got a program specifically for addiction as well. Because it's all neurological, you're going to have to... Different things, obviously, it's going to be different approaches, but he's got a specific program for addiction, which is separate to the lightning process. It's got a cool name as well, but it's got a specific one for addiction. That's the only guy I could actually recommend to you, bro. Obviously, Alcoholics Anonymous as well. I've got friends who rave about that. Check out the guy Sinner to Winner. Travis, my friend Sinner to Winner. He's a mental health professional. He's in my group. He's a fucking legend. And he's been through addiction himself, and he actually works with guys remotely on displacing addiction habits and basically assisting people with addiction if they're actually seriously wanting to get out of it. He's got some kind of a service, like an accountability thing as well, that he's running. So yeah, Sinner to Winner. Just check him out as a channel anyway. He's fucking amazing. Yeah, martial arts. Yak. Is this the famous Yak who comes in and out of the entourage? Yak, is this you? I've heard about you, mate. If this is the entourage, Yak. I know how men are feeling. Traditional short-term pleasure. Yeah. I understand that. You know what I would say with that one is, if I'm being honest myself, the relationships I was in when I was young, I didn't even want to be in anyway. I was just like, I just didn't want to be in them anyway. So that's why I would have that conflict. I'd be like, I just feel like basically the relationship was purely sex for me. I should have just been clear about that. And then I kind of got into something. I'm like, really, I don't even want to be in a relationship. I think you've got to be honest about that. I'm not a prude about this, because there's some people are like, oh, you know, you should be monogamous and all this type of thing. I would say, look, if you want to shag around, get out your system. What you don't want to do is get to our age and be married with kids and then be like, have regrets that you didn't do a few crazy things when you were young. So I actually do think there is some value in getting out of your system. And I also don't make a rule for everyone, because everyone is different. Like literally everyone is neurologically, like temperamentally, hormonally different. One guy to be in a stable relationship is like, that's what he fucking needs 100%. Another guy would be a straitjacket for him at a certain age. So I always take it on a case by case. But yeah, I mean, it is a good point. You got to look at why. I suppose you've got to look at why you're getting into a relationship to begin with. And then if you want to get out of it, why do you want to get out of it? You know, in my case, when I'm thinking back, those relationships I didn't even want to be in anyway. You know, if I'm being honest. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm brutally honest about it. People can say, oh, that makes me a bad person. The reality is, I know a lot of guys will be in the same position. And I knew at the time, I was like, I finally got access to sex with an attractive girl. Fucking hell, I've just swam the channel. I was like, the girl basically gave me an ultimatum, which is, if you're not my boyfriend, oh, this is over. And I was like, fine, I'll be your boyfriend then. Knowing full well that I just wanted to keep having sex with an attractive girl, because it had been, frankly, so long since I'd had that experience. So yeah, I'm not embarrassed to say that. I still got something out of it, so did she, but I think eventually we went out for like a couple of years. I don't know how many times I got with other girls, like a fair few times, especially in the second year. It was kind of like, well, we got what we got out of it. She got a lot out of it as well, so yeah, it's fine. But yeah, now I'm 39 years old. I don't have a problem saying that, because I just don't have a problem saying that. It is what it is. And I know for a fact there's other guys out there in that position. And then you get to a point where it's kind of like, all right, well, I've done that now. Okay, I can move on. You know, if I had children now with someone, let's say, I'm not planning on doing it, but like if I was going to go down that route of being a daddy and all that type of thing, I'd be fine with it. I might find the occasional wanting to go out and flirt a little bit, but I'd be fine with being monogamous, because I've got it out of my system. I think for men who are actually in relationships, going out just with your mates, flirting with a few girls, I think that's actually, or doing daytime cold approach, you know, go up to the girls, pay them a compliment, I chat them up a little bit, get a bit of a frisson. And what I've actually found with that is, my friends have found the same, when they're in a relationship, they carry on doing cold approach. It actually makes the relationships better, because they're not coming from a place of scarcity. They actually know for a fact they can get out there and they could pull another girl, because they're going out and they're chatting up girls, they're getting a bit of interest in the streets, they're paying compliments, they're socializing. And then when they go back to the girlfriend, it's like, yeah, they're appreciating what they've got at home. And then they're like, basically, just smashing a girlfriend's pieces, basically. It's awesome. So the girlfriend gets, all the benefit of it, essentially. Of the fact that the man feels virile, she gets that benefit. So it's good for all concerned. I think that's what we found in Entourage, is like a happy medium for guys, especially when they're younger as well. Get a girlfriend if you want. Nothing to stop you going out doing some approaches. Nothing to stop you even take a few numbers if you want and just fucking delete them. You're just doing it for the hunt. Yeah? The girls like a bit of attention. And you're not putting any resource into those girls, it's fine. You get back, you just ravage your own girlfriend. I think that's a really good way to scratch that itch to hunt. Other guys do it with porn. let's just be real about male sexuality. There's too much moralizing about it. Male sexuality is very powerful, and it can be quite indiscriminate. And there's nothing you can actually do about that, especially if you've got a high sex drive. The question is just where are you gonna point that thing? You know, how are you gonna handle it? And so yeah, so that's one of the ways we've looked at. And actually, not even looked at. That's what I've done in the last year. That's what I was doing. My friend Christian, he's doing the same as well. Other guys doing the same. So yeah. Hey Ben, Logan, I appreciate your compliment. Also, it's cool you're chatting to Travis as well. Yeah. Alex, you're new to the channel. He's got a question. You're 39. How many years do you think you can keep day gaming? Well, in terms of daytime, I don't really call it game, but okay, fine. That's the common term. There's no game in what I do. There's a bit of technique. It's mostly going over to girls, paying them a compliment, and just having a conversation with them. That's all I'm doing. And if I like them, I'll take the number. For me personally, I will definitely continue doing this for quite a few years to come, for several reasons. Number one, I'm now teaching it, so I'm actually teaching guys as well. And the fact is, you want to be current and up to date. So the guys that come and train with me, they can see me go and doing sets and stuff afterwards. Usually I'll go and do some approaches and stuff with them. They can see what I'm doing. You can see it on the channel. So for that reason alone, I think it's important to go out and continue to develop your approaches, continue to refine it, continue to put yourself in there. I don't have to do it every fucking day, obviously, but like to be continuous with it. And so while this project of Wing Bro is going on and I'm helping guys get their approach life sorted, I will definitely be continuing to be about it. Yeah, that's for sure. Now whether that means I'm going to be seducing girls, whether that means I'm going to, for example, the girls that I film, I don't even message them. The girls whose numbers I've got on film, not that like, obviously I'm talking like I've got the greatest fucking infields of all time at the moment, and I want to get more infields. But any of the girls you see on infields, I don't even message them. I'm not interested. I'm just purely doing it to demonstrate to guys. But in my own personal life, I'm still approaching. At the moment, I am also doing it for pleasure as well. It's business and pleasure, so to speak. But yeah, even if I were to decide to stop any personal approaches where I'm not even trying to seduce a girl, I would still be approaching. As long as I'm doing Wing Bro, touch wood, I don't see why I would stop approaching. Yeah, the frequency of it might change, the intensity might change, but there's no reason to stop. I will continue, and that'll be at least until why would I stop into my 40s? I don't see any reason to. So that's like there's that side of things, the actual channel itself. I think guys in their 40s, once I get in there as well, hey, they'll have a guys in their 40s to look at and go, okay, well, he's doing it, so maybe he can help me get my mojo going. And then there's a second aspect for me, which is I'm an unusual profile. I like to push things to an extreme, and it's a skill I'm enjoying. And I also like being a seducer as well, if I'm being honest. Again, it might not be very politically correct to say, I actually enjoy being a seducer. I enjoy that to an incredible level. I find it to be very primally satisfying to seduce an attractive woman, and you know, that whole process. And hey, I enjoy it, so I'm going to continue to do it until I really don't enjoy it anymore. I have been in relationships where I've stopped, if you know, so sometimes I felt a bit neutered, The last relationship I was in, where I was actually approaching as well on the side, that was probably the best, healthiest relationship I've been in for myself. Like, the girls wouldn't have felt much difference, I don't think, but I felt better. I didn't feel neutered. You know, I'm like, I've got a lot of testosterone, man. I'm 5'7", I've got testosterone of a fucking 6'10" NBA player, in my mind anyway. So it gets rid of a bit of that testosterone, you know. So I will be continuing to be approaching into my 40s for sure, absolutely. And the only thing that could really seriously stop that would be if I decided to maybe for the respect of my own family. If I had children, I probably wouldn't want to do it then. Or maybe, yeah, maybe I still would, maybe do one a month or something. That'd be the only thing that would stop me. But that's a good question. I'll tell you why you're stopping your 40s, bro. The thing is, mate, I'm 39 and I lost my virginity at 15 through cold approach. So that's 25 years and I'm nowhere near bored. So this is what I'm saying. I'm a particular case. We're all different. I'm a particular case. I do understand what you're saying, but there's times where I go out for the approach just for the approach itself, just to go, well, I wonder what happens if I open this set. Like the girls I complimented tonight in the club, I didn't want to close them. I just wanted to go over to have the balls, the big ball sack, to go over and compliment the hottest girl in the bar, who also worked in the bar while she was having a bit of time off on a break with her mates. And then all the mates are staring at me and what the fuck is this guy doing? And then continue on with them. I got something from that. So yeah, there's that side of things. But then, as I say, the actual seduction, you know, maybe I'll get bored, I don't know. I'm doing it 25 years now, I'm still not got bored. Obviously there's been major dry spells in that as well, so I don't know. But I try to be real on this channel as much as possible. I don't prescribe that anyone else should follow my path. I do think we're all different. I actually think for cold approach, like, some guys really are best off. Go in, do as many approaches as you need to do to get a girlfriend, and just get off the streets and just get out of there. Focus on that girlfriend, and then probably do one or two approaches, like maybe a month or something, just to remind yourself you're still a man with dick and balls. But apart from that, just get yourself off, because I don't think it's for everyone to stay out there and stay single. You know, I'm like a constant traveler. I've been on the road for four fucking years. Like, so I'm just a certain personality type. I do not recommend my lifestyle to most people. It's not better or worse, it just suits me. And I don't think it would suit most people, if I'm being honest. But yeah. Testosterone. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I've got a friend, I don't know, mate. I understand what you're saying. I've got one of my close friends is 72 years old. Yeah, he had a threesome last year with two 40-year-olds. I've got another friend who's in his 50s, and he makes me look like a fucking amateur, dude. He makes me look. I might be catching up with him now that I've joined the entourage and I'm doing it in a formalized way. He's 53, 54, Spanish guy. He's a monster, bruv. He's a monster. But yeah, I mean, it might happen. I don't know, if I'm being honest, man. I don't know. I do have some, like, my old man had 2 children in his 60s. So, you know, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. But to each his own. If I do feel the way you've just described, then I'm sure it's not. I can feel it even now. Like at 39, 10 years ago, I'd be burning that club to the ground trying to fuck someone tonight. Even now at 39, I'm like, I just want to flirt a little bit and I'll move on. Now I do still have a sex drive. I still want to meet women and stuff, but it's already. But the priorities have come in. I'm not as easily impressed by women as well, to be honest, like, you know, after all the travels and stuff. So yeah, it's already happening a little bit, but I still would put myself in that category of a man who he likes to be a bit of a seducer. Yeah, you know, that's the category I'm in. But yeah, I'm not chasing down every piece of ass like I used to. No, definitely not. So there's already been some changes. Yeah, maybe that continues on. We'll see what happens. Oh shit. Yeah. I do think you can continue on to really seasoned age, man. I really do. Yeah, I look up to older guys, you know, who are doing. You realise as you get older, man, like keeping yourself in the game in whatever way that is, whether that's through your fitness, keeping mentally engaged, through your family, whatever it is. I look up to it and I respect it. I definitely do. As I've got older into my 30s, now my late 30s, the guys I look up to are like guys in their late 40s, and I'm like, man, that guy's really about it. Look at the way he's pushing his business on. Look at the way he's got, you know, look at his relationships. Look at what he's doing. You got my friend in his 70s, living a great life. I really just respect it, and it's inspirational. Yeah. Smoking a pipe over women. You're out the game, type ticks on. Yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Yeah, I'll have to go soon, boys. But yeah, let me answer Alex's question. How do you sustain your approach, motivation? I don't. I don't sustain it. It just sustains itself. I don't have to do anything to sustain it. It is what it is. I don't know. How could my dad be bothered to have children in his 60s with a 30-something-year-old? I don't know. He just could do it. It just sustained it. So for me, it's not like I'm trying to do it. I just feel the motivation. Granted, not the ferocious aggression that I did, but dude, it's not that different. It's not that different. I'd say it's only this last year or so I've noticed a bit of a drop off, but a drop off I'm more than happy with. I'm like, thank God I don't feel like a constant, like a fucking caged lion all the time. So I don't know. I don't know where that comes from, but it is what it is. I don't have to do anything to sustain it. What do you mean by the love being a seducer? Interesting. I have to do a separate thing on that. Yeah, the seducer. There's not many actual seducers around, man. There's not many. I'm not saying that in a kind of show-off way, but it's like, it takes a bit of an art form. It takes some time. It takes, you know, you want to be the seducer. Yeah, that's something that you are the seducer. You become the seducer. It's something you actually like doing the whole process. For me, that's an exciting role to be in, as opposed to other roles that I've been in at times where I did not feel very excited and stimulated. And like, you know, so being a seducer, I'm happy with that identity. I'm not going to be shamed by anyone. If I want to be a seducer till I'm 90, I'll go to 90. Yeah. If I don't want to, I won't. I will do what I want to do, according to what I feel and what I just truly want to do. So yeah, being that seducer, I don't know. That's a whole thing. What that means is you're not just going out to get I mean, most guys don't want to be seducers. I don't fucking blame them. They just want to go out, get a number, get a girlfriend. That's fine. Do that then. That's actually normal. Yeah. So that's absolutely fine. And that's super healthy. There are some men who want to go out and be seducers. They want to have a process with a girl, you know, sex her up a little bit, and then they carry on their merry way. But that's not like really necessarily been a shagger either. It's like there's a seduction process to it, you know. It's a rare art form these days. I have, yeah. He isn't a seducer. That's the thing is, it is a personality choice and type, and it's not to do with your looks. So it's very unfortunate that, because like guys who like they don't even want to be seducers. They just want to have a girlfriend, and like yeah, imagine that you can't get a girlfriend, but you got girls you can shag, but you can't get girls. It's weird. It's weird. Zanberry on a gold role model. No, he's not. He doesn't know. He doesn't really know anything about seduction, if I'm being honest. He's a good writer. He's a creative. He doesn't know how to do cold approach, mate. He doesn't know how to cold approach. Yeah, he's from Canada, a liberal country where the girls are easy. He said himself openly, I don't really know anything about cold approach. I'm like, well, it's not to throw shade on the guy, because I've read his book and I thought He's a great writer. I like some of his lines, but he's just living on a different planet from reality, bruv. He's not the greatest seducer in the community. I'm not saying I'm not saying that as a to be I don't know, resentful or anything. He's sold loads of books. He's a well-known guy. He's got an amazing publishing career. He's got a good look about him. He speaks well. He definitely will have his experiences. He's definitely had his experiences with women. But no, there's a lot I pick apart with him. I read his book. We all read it in the entourage, and a lot of guys like it. And I think there's a lot of merit to it. I think it's fucking decent. But bruv, if you can't cold approach, you're not a seducer, bruv. If you can't cold approach in a club or in the street, you're not a seducer. You're actually a socialite who occasionally gets laid with like 35-year-old art chicks. It's not, you're not an actual seducer, yeah? Yeah. And there's different ways. Some guys seduce, some guys' ways of seducing, honestly, is just that they're very, very nice. That's so underrated. Just being nice and genuine. That's one of the biggest, most seductive things, right? It's different for different guys, right? I've seen probably that my friend who's got the best seduction record I've ever seen, and he is a seducer, really, in his own way. He's extremely nice. He's so nice. Like when I've seen him in set, people you think you have to be an alpha male. He looks good. He's well dressed, and he's incredibly nice. Like, but in a way which is not weak. He's got some kind of a sensitive but pleasant and cheeky touch with women, and they just fucking melt, dude. They melt. These chicks melt. He gets a different type of girl to the ones I do, but he used to get some very, very fucking hot girls, man. Absolute seduction machine. Other guys, there's all these different ways, but yeah, he can approach. You've got to be able to approach. Oh, the rational male, yeah. Yeah, I think he's quite good, to be honest. I think that book's quite good. I think it's quite good. I wouldn't go down all of it. With all of this stuff, right, you've got to look at where it was produced. Zamparion's Canadian. It's a very liberal society. It's his methodology. It's going to be seen as a little bit pussyish in like fucking Eastern Europe or like Dominican Republic or something, Cuba. In Canada it works. Yeah, with those women. It's different sexual market. The rational male, that's based on a US sexual marketplace, quote unquote. What's a bit of a weird thing in it to call it a sexual marketplace? You mean just human beings interacting? So a lot of these guys, they're a little bit freaky, a little bit odd, in my opinion and experience. But I do think there's some good stuff in that book as well. I think specifically about age. I think that's one thing in that book which is it's very valuable for men to know. You can still do well. He says a man's peak value is in his mid-30s, and a woman's peak is in her mid-20s. I think there's a lot to that, and so I don't think most men necessarily know that either. So young men, if you probably do want to know, hey, in the future you're going to have more options as well. Yeah, exactly. Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, Charisma or Cap America. Yeah, that type of guy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, look, I think any guy who's genuinely got some expertise, they've got something to share, and they've actually put something out there, they've gone to the trouble to write an entire book, even if they're going to make money off it themselves and stuff, I still think it's positive. I do think Rollo has made a contribution. I think he's an odd guy, but I think that book makes some good points, and I think Zanperion makes some fucking amazing like points as well in his book, and the way he describes things about like certain type of guy, like this seductive persona of like the pirate, the brigand, the outlaw. Yeah, I agree with that. That is kind of that's part of it in my opinion. But at the same time, if you're gonna say he himself is the greatest seducer, no, he's not. He's not. He just isn't. I think he would say that himself. Yeah. But I don't put myself. I say that I like this lifestyle. I don't put myself as the best because I've been around a lot of guys, man, who are fucking unbelievable. So like, I just say I know what I know. I've been around. I can share what I can share, and it can definitely help. But I think I'm confident. I'm arrogant in my own approaches, but I'm not delusional. Just I've got a mate who's a rock star. He's in four figures with women. He's had more than 1,000 women. Yeah. So I'm not delusional. Yeah, Tomasi's not a seducer. No, he's not at all. He's not at all. Boys, I'm gonna have to go. I think it's almost getting light. What time is it now? It's about 3, 4 a.m. Jesus. Right, I'm gonna have to go, boys. But I really appreciate all the questions. Check out the other videos on my channel if you found this live to be useful. Thanks a lot for joining me. I've really appreciated the conversation. I hope you found some of the ideas interesting. Good dynamic, Logan. Thanks very much for the Wing Bro system. Yeah, okay, Alex, I'll give you a quick rundown because you seem quite interested. So I run immersion programs for daytime approach. So the programs are 3-day immersion programs. I'm running them in the UK for the next 5 weeks, and then I'll be running them in Belgrade, Serbia, and then in Poland. So if you want to find out about that program, you can book a call with me. I don't have that many calls in the week available, but I've got some available next weekend. You can book a call with me, and we can go through what you're actually looking to achieve. That's a 3-day immersion with a 90-day support. So you do it face to face with me. We go out, we hammer the cold approach, and then you get 90 days support after that. The remote aspect is the 90-day support. But yeah, feel free to. Okay, where do you live, bruv? Which country are you in? He's gonna say he lives in fucking Brazzaville, Congo. I'll be running my Congo immersion in 2026. You're in US. Yeah, whereabouts in the US? Because I've got a friend who's coaching over there who's the absolute business as well. He's out of San Francisco, and he's fucking unbelievable. I've seen him in person. Yeah, Logan, you're top bloke, mate. I appreciate you. Okay. Well, I'll be running programs. I'll be in the Caribbean from about November time. I'll be based out of Santo Domingo from the in December time. So there might be an option to do something in Miami. Because I've actually been wanting to get across to Miami. It's basically next door, obviously, to Dominican. Or there might be an option if you were interested for you to actually come out to Dominican Republic and do some training out there. We'll see, because from Miami it's like a couple hours. It's like a stone's throw. There's a lot of people come across from Miami. Yeah, in terms of remote for daytime approach. No, at the moment I don't. It's got to be in person. Because there's things I can see as soon as we get out and we get approaching. There's things I can tell you within the first 30 minutes, the first 3 minutes, that unless I can actually see you in person, I'm not going to be able to make those adjustments with you. So it does have to be in person. Yeah. So we have 3-day support in person, so 3-day immersion, and then 90-day remote support, which is basically, I'll be expecting you to get yourself on Saturdays, go get your approaches in at least every Saturday for the following 90 days, which is 12 more sessions. It's just remote support. So it's basically like you say to me, right, Joseph, I'm going out, I'm going to do 5 approaches today, or I'm going to do 10, right, in the next 60 minutes, bang, 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 bang. Then you message me after that and go, okay, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened. And I can basically assist you with any continued sticking points you're having. So it's a continued support. You've got access to me through that period. Some coaches, it's just kind of like, okay, right, you do your weekend, then you fuck off, and that's it. Never speak to them again. I do want to continue to support people if they're the right people. So I would recommend, Alex, watch the rest of my channel. See if you think I'm the right person for you. I've got a friend who's a coach in Los Angeles. I think he's in San Francisco. I don't know if he does. Yeah, I don't know what else. I don't know what other parts of the country. Yeah, exactly. It's morning, isn't it? So, yeah. Watch the rest of my channel. Feel free to comment on other videos. I'm not going to take any more questions from you now, mate. But thanks very much for tuning in. If you are interested in developing this, you can comment on other videos. If you're really interested, we could look at booking a call in. If I can't work with you, I've got a good friend who's fucking amazing in San Francisco, so you might be able to do something with him. I'm only interested in working with serious people, so it's not to be like, I basically got to qualify people in advance and say, look, if you're not willing to do XYZ, I'm not the man for you. But you know, and it's the same with my friend as well. He's the same. We've only got time to work with people who are willing to put in some time and effort into it and understand what it's going to take. So just check out the rest of my channel, check out the rest of the vids. Feel free to comment. We can maybe communicate in the comments a little bit as well. And if maybe you can even book a call as well, you can find my details there. So yeah, but thanks for inquiring, Alex. I do appreciate it, mate. Logan, you're absolute legend, mate. Peace, love. Take it easy. Good night, boys.